Hi everyone, welcome to thunderbaytrees.ca. My name is Jay, and today we're going to be looking at my soil report. A few episodes ago, I took some soil samples from around my elm tree in my lawn, and today we're connecting with Joel Simmons from the Forest Soils Laboratory at Lakehead University, the guy who actually did my analysis. So today we have Joel. Hey Joel.
Hey Jay, thanks for having me.
All right, so what does the soil report tell us?
Well, what we mailed out to you here, and this is we got the sheets here that explain the results when we actually did the testing of your soil. You did a soil sample from your lawn, your backyard lawn.
Right.
Right. So our recommendations are specific for lawn growth. Okay, but it will also benefit your tree, and you can get into that, because you're the tree expert.
I don't know what expert.
But that's your job, not mine. So from your soil test, what we actually found when we do a hand texture estimation, and we found that you got a really good soil texture. And what soil texture is the percent sand, silt, and clay. So the different size particles, how those are all blended together. And right in the middle of an even mix of all three of those soil particles is a loam. And everybody wants that loam soil because it holds nutrients, it holds water really well. And you've got a silty loam, so it's a loam, but it's got a little bit more silt than sand or clay.
So no big deal. It's pretty good.
No big deal. You've got a good starting point.
Okay.
Your pH was slightly low. It was a pH of 6. Your target level is a 6.5. So
so does 6 mean sick?
Not quite. I mean, 6. You could actually probably get away with doing nothing, and your lawn would still be fine. Okay. Most turf and grass is pretty resilient, but you can actually, if you want to get the pH up to the optimum range to get good growth for your lawn, you can apply. We've got the information right here on the actual report. You would apply 8 pounds of lime per 100 square feet, okay, and that would bring your pH up to the 6.5. So now moving on to your actual nutrient levels, we found that we tested for phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. Your phosphorus levels were actually quite low, and the probability of a crop response, like your grasses to actually start to grow better with an addition of phosphorus, is actually quite high. So we have in here that your lawn requires phosphorus at a rate of 0.614 pounds per 100 square feet. And we can get into all the calculations. It sounds like a really small amount, but when you actually look at converting that to the actual nutrient, converting the nutrient requirement to a fertilizer application, it ends up being quite a bit.
Okay.
Potassium was in the middle ground. The probability of a crop response is medium. You would actually likely see something if you actually applied some potassium. So the rate is 0.164 pounds per 100 square feet.
Okay.
And then nitrogen, grasses love nitrogen, so we've also got that you should apply a little bit of nitrogen as well. And that's just based off of your crop that you're growing or your lawn. And magnesium was really high and everything was good. So
okay, now magnesium, is that another, like, you don't see magnesium on the fertilizer bag. It's NP and K. So where does magnesium come into the mix?
Actually, you can get magnesium. What do they call it? K-mag. You can get potassium magnesium mixes. Okay. But this is more when we actually test for magnesium, it helps you decide which type of lime to use. If you have to apply lime, which
it looks like I probably should, right?
But since your magnesium levels are actually adequate, you can apply either a dolomitic or a calcitic lime. Okay. If you had a magnesium deficiency, then you would choose to apply dolomitic because it's a magnesium type rock that you're actually applying.
Okay.
We tested also for soluble salts because usually that can be an issue. Maybe not so much on your backyard lawns, but on front lawns and boulevards and stuff. Salts, contamination from road salt spray, and if you're
I salt the heck out of my path in the backyard.
Okay, so I mean, but your soluble salts level was well below what would be of concern. So you're all right there. So your lawn should exhibit normal growth in terms of being affected by salts.
Okay. And
the last thing that we tested was your organic matter. And organic matter is also good for holding water and nutrients and stuff. And as it breaks down, it releases nutrients as well. We recommend that you have between 3 to 5% organic matter, and you're at 6.3, so you're a little bit above, the average. So it's
overachieving.
Overachieving. It's good.
Okay, good. So then, what's on the next page of the report here?
So most often for farmers and stuff, we would just give our actual kind of spreadsheet soil test report.
Yeah, like looking at this report, like it kind of makes me want to throw up. It's there's all these numbers and you know, and I have a bit of a science background, and it still makes me want to throw up.
We realized that this type of report is a little bit overwhelming, and taking the information from here to figure out how to do a fertilizer application is a little bit of a daunting task. So what we've actually done is we've gone a step beyond that, and for the average homeowner, layperson, we've taken all the information from the actual soil report and we put it into a written report in layman's terms. So
now we know what's kind of in the soil, and we know that things need to happen to make it better. And then I guess that's what the last little section is here in the thing you emailed me.
Yeah. So this fertilizer guide deals specifically with the nutrient application. So the first step, going through figuring out, okay, your nitrogen and your phosphorus and your potassium are needed in these amounts, and you figure out a ratio, and then the fertilizer guide helps you to match a fertilizer that's going to meet those needs as closely as possible. So you're not over applying or under applying, and it helps you determine, converting even from pounds per 100 square feet to how much volume, because not everybody has a scale, and trying to estimate weights of fertilizers can be tricky. So how many cups do you need to apply of this type of fertilizer? So and we always encourage people, we want people to get their money's worth. So if you reading through this, you had any questions, give us a call. We don't want to have somebody send in a soil sample and get the report back and still feel like they don't know what to do with it. Okay. So we're all about.
So if I'm looking at the report and I soil it because I throw up, I can call you and we'll talk.
You can give us a shout. We love to hear from people. So, yeah.
I don't think I'll throw up on the report.
Good, because I don't know whether I'd want to hold the report after that.
So okay, so I guess the next steps for me would be to apply some of the nutrients you suggest, and also play around with the pH.
When it comes to your nutrient application, it all depends on what you're actually using. If you apply an inorganic, highly soluble fertilizer, your lawn's going to immediately respond to that the next day. If it's getting water and stuff along with that, you're going to see an immediate response. The grass will green up, and it, with your tree as well, you should see a positive response as well. If you choose to go more of the organic route and applying an organic fertilizer, usually what that means is it's the nutrients are in a more unavailable form, but they slowly break down over time. So you're going to see a slower release, and it's going to be more of a slow process, but it's consistent. Okay. So inorganic, you'd see an immediate response. Organic, it would take a little bit longer, but sometimes the problem with inorganic chemical fertilizers is you get that immediate response, but then it can be gone quite quickly. So. Right. Being soluble in water, it can, especially if you apply it and you get a big heavy rain the next day or something, you can lose a lot of it.
So when you do the inorganic application, is there more of a risk when you over apply that you could burn out your lawn, rather than if it's an inorganic, it takes longer? So even if you do over apply, is it a little more forgiving? Oh
yeah, for sure. So that's why if you are applying an inorganic chemical fertilizer, be sure to really make when you're doing the calculation, make sure that you're doing it correctly. And you can give us a shout if you've got any questions, because you will see, you can burn your grass easily, and damage roots and stuff from the salts. So.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thanks, Joel. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day today to chat.
It was my pleasure. Thanks, Jay.
Well, there you go. My name is Jay for thunderbaytrees.ca, and hope you learned a thing or two about soil testing. And if you haven't got your soil tested yet, do it now. There'll be contact information right below the video where you can find out how to get your soils tested. Till next time, I'm Jay Dampier.